My name is Jason Gilmore, and I am, I guess you can call it the brainchild behind Gilmore. I mean, the band. What? What are you? Oh, I just lost a camera. Gilmore actually started back in 2010, though I was writing and composing songs ever since 1999. But in 2010 I had actually gathered enough material to create my first album called Sonic Contrast, and I released that at the end of 2011. Sonic Contrast is actually interesting because that had a wide variety of music types on the album. I had some folk music, I had some heavy metal, I had some rock, I had some ballads, and really in order for me to kind of get an idea of direction for the second album, when I released Sonic Contrast, I actually looked at the performance of that album over a couple of years to see what songs kind of piqued people's interest when they listened to it. And fortunately enough, the songs that performed well off that album were actually the hard rock songs, and that's the kind of style of music that I really enjoy writing and playing. So based on that information, that kind of gave me a direction for what I wanted to do with the second album. And you walk away, 'cause there's no shame that will make you stray. And you walk away when you find a way. Stronger will is the price you pay. If you find a way, don't look back to it. So Sonic Contrast was very kind of all over the musical spectrum in terms of genre of music and style of music. Super Ego is actually a much more straightforward hard rock album. Begging for it all to you. Looking for a symbol of hope, but suddenly clouded is your point of view. You need something to pacify your people that really enjoy the music of Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Tool, groups of that sort of nature. I think they'll gravitate really well towards Super Ego because the song structures and the stylings and the genre is very similar in that respect. Society manipulating you and me. So tell me how's it going? Music's everything. You know, at any given point in time of the day, I always have some sort of music going through my head, whether it's something I composed or something that I heard years ago that for some reason suddenly wants to pop into my head. Like I say, music is very cathartic to me, and you know, every life event that I have has some sort of soundtrack to it. So, you know, I think for a lot of people, music's very important to them, whether they realize it or not, subconsciously or consciously. It's a great punctuator to personal and world events. Recording the album is really a labor of love for me. I really love doing it, but it takes a lot of work to do it because I'm my own person doing the album, and consequently I have to do everything myself, even the decision making. Recording the album, I actually took a little bit different approach than what most bands would do, whereas bands would lay drum and bass tracks first and then layer on top of that rhythm guitars and then solo guitars and then vocals. For me, since I'm a very guitar-centric player, I actually just created a click track because I knew kind of the tempo that I wanted the songs to be. And then I would actually lay the rhythm guitars first, and then after that overlay kind of some placeholder solo guitar tracks, and then after that I would go in and lay the bass, then I would lay the drums. The drums are actually programmed, and then after that I would go in and lay the lead and backing vocals, and then after all that stuff is mixed in together, then I would go in and actually do the final guitar solo work and any other overdubs that the album would need. So it was sort of a little bit wonky the way the album came together from a recording and an engineering standpoint, but I think the end result, still kind of holds true to what you'd expect other bands, to put out there in terms of content. The writing and the recording for the album, actually, it was about 2 years worth of material. Starts with basic guitar riffs, and then from there I go in and I embellish from there, and kind of like roots of a tree, it just kind of spreads out and goes everywhere until the song is written. So the lyrical content of the songs are interesting because when I write music, when I compose music, I actually have no idea what the words or the lyrics for the songs are going to be. It's not until the music's done and I'm happy with that initial mix that I'll actually take that mix and I'll sort of meditate on the music and just let my subconscious kind of run free and say, okay, what is the song talking about? What kind of topic are we going to discuss in this song? And then the words and the lyrics actually just kind of flow out of me, and I jot them down, write them down. And it really doesn't take a whole lot of massaging from that point. Since I have the music, in my ears, I can kind of figure out the melodic phrasing that I want for the lyrics and whatnot. So that's the way the lyrics basically come together in the songs.
Where you can find yourself right today. Where you can find yourself right today.
lot of the pop music nowadays, it's so pre-manufactured and it feels like a formula. In fact, I just watched a YouTube video a friend of mine sent the other day about, how to create a chart-topping pop song in 4 minutes. And that works for some people, and that's fine. But I mean, for me, it's all about the music and the emotion and everything. I don't need a formula to, compose something that needs to hit the top of the charts. And that kind of gets into why I do this in the first place. I mean, it's not for the fame, it's not for the fortune, it's not for the notoriety. I seriously do this just because I really love creating and composing music, and that's something very cathartic for me. It enables me to get a lot of stuff out of my head, and the way I express myself is through music. So it's really great for me to be able to do that and share that with whoever wants to listen to it. The general theme of Superego is actually one of frustration, and it's not frustration from a personal standpoint. It's more of a frustration of what society is going through right now. If you recall our last presidential election and everything that went down along with that and what's going on since then, a lot of the lyrical content in the songs really focus around the proverbial swamp that exists in Washington, and really not how it's been drained, but how it's been added to. So songs like Revelator, Narcissist, Post Fact, those songs actually kind of encapsulate that sort of concept. And really, too, if you look at social media and the way that kind of, the types of people that you see on social media, there's a lot of trolling and negativity and stuff like that going on there. So, again, the songs just kind of encapsulate that whole sort of thematic content. So the album comes across as a little bit angry, really frustrated. I guess the reason why it came across like that from a subconscious point of view, it's my frustrations at kind of the way the world is today, and just really calling everybody out on it. So hopefully they can do something about it instead of being all negative Nancy's or Debbie Downers. What inspires me to do what I do, it's since I'm a big aficionado of music and I listen to a whole bunch of different types of music, when I listen to stuff that really gets me excited about songwriting and music making, that really inspires me to try and up my game in terms of songwriting and creating. There's a lot of unique stuff out there from bands and singers and whatnot, and it's neat to be a part of that, or at least try to be a part of that, to throw your hat in the ring. And who knows, maybe you stumble upon the next best thing and people love what you do. I mean, for me, fortunately, I have a day job and I don't need to have fame, notoriety, and make a whole bunch of money off this album in order to survive. While that would be nice, it's not mandatory. but it's, for me, I do it because it's really a love of all things music, and I love the creative aspect about it. I love the process of recording the material, mixing the material, putting the album art together and whatnot. It's just a hell of a lot of fun, and I hope that in terms of putting this content out, it gets listened to. It's funny because years ago when I released Sonic Contrast, somebody asked me, well, what do you define as success? I mean, you've released this album, how do you know if you're successful? And back then I said, if I sell one album to somebody that I don't know, I would consider that album a success. I set the bar really low for that album. For Super Ego, I think I'll shoot for 2 albums. Selling 2 albums to people that I have no clue who they are. Because, you can always count on your family and friends to to purchase albums. But it was really neat to see Sonic Contrast kind of go worldwide. And I actually had a little bit of a following in Russia and Mexico with Sonic Contrast. So I have my hopes that Super Ego will appeal to those people and maybe more people across the globe. So yeah, it's Super Ego is a very much more focused album than Sonic Contrast was, and I think the recording quality and the mixing and whatnot are kind of a step up from Sonic Contrast as well.
So far away, long waiting in vain.
So that's about all I can tell you for right now. Who knows where this thing will go, but I have high hopes for it. I think a lot of people will like it, and I look forward to hearing the feedback on the album. So keep your eyes and ears out for it, and if you like what you hear, buy it. That's all I can ask for. And spread the word about it. It's always good to get the word out and support your artists and your friends and whatnot. So let's get it out there and make it do great things. That's it for me. All you guys out there behave, and we'll come at you later. All right, cheers.